Hello Aries, welcome to your reading. This is a general intuitive tarot reading for anybody with Aries placements or cross watchers. It's timeless, so it's for whenever you find it, and it's general, so you can swap around the genders and the roles, and it could be in an inner or an outer process that I'm describing. So just listen in, and if it resonates with you and it works for you and you get messages that are appropriate to your situation, great. So welcome. And the reading is with 4 decks, with the Osho Zen Tarot, the Animal Spirit Oracle, the Light Seers Tarot, and the Good Tarot. And we start out with a pretty great card which sets the tone for your reading, the Celebration card. Now this tells me that you are in a phase, you're just moving into, or you just have moved into, or you're just about to move into a phase of lightness of being, happiness, community, just life getting easier, really getting easier. Just the energy is lighten up and you're just feeling better. And it might not necessarily be like a full-on party, it could be, but it's just more lightness of being, more enjoyment. Life is certainly getting easier. And the reason why is because of the King of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Moon. So these are clarifiers that tells me a story about what has been leading up to this relief feeling. And we start out with the King of Cups. If you can see all of this light emanating from his heart space, he's gotten in touch with his heart. He's gotten in touch with peace. He's mastering earth and water, consciousness and material life and emotions. And you've just reached a peace state. You've mastered peace and opening your heart, or at least beginning to let it shine more. And you're also ready for something new. You're ready to, this came out with the message, you're ready to roll the dice. You're ready to take a chance on life and do something bold and new, and show off your mastery, and you're ready to rumble, you're ready to play, and you're ready to work. So there's a lot of good energy here. You're open to new energies, and you're open to taking on something new. In of course a very playful, impulsive, Aries kind of way. And then finally the Moon, to clarify this, which I see today as something or somebody that you have realized that you cannot change. This could have been a person you were trying to help or change or pull out of a lot of deep, difficult emotions. This could be a part of yourself, or it could be some project or some energy in your life, just something that was really heavy, and you've been probably trying for a while to change it or cheer it up, or somehow heal it. You've been, whatever it is that you do, you've been trying to do it, but you've given up on that. You've realized, I cannot change this person. I cannot change this energy. I cannot heal this thing. It is what it is. And it came out with the sentence, let the dead bury the dead. So it is a realization that you can't keep looking at this, trying to work this out or help this person, because it's a fool's errand, and it's just taking your energy. So really, if you see these two energies, they in a way they mirror each other a little bit with their body language. And actually, as you release this, you start ascending up. You start moving up and becoming much more light. This could even be a part of you, and you're not abandoning it. You're also not abandoning probably a person, but you're stopping with any kind of trying to change this person. She always also reminded me a little bit of Moaning Myrtle, if you read Harry Potter or saw it. She's this figure who lives in the bathroom and always water and crying, and there's a lot of moaning. I'm not saying this necessarily is something or somebody with victim mentality, although it could be. But it's just who she is. She just is that element. You can't take her out of it. She is that water. She is that sorrow. That is what she is and who she is. And I think you just realize that. You realize this is what this is. And even if it's a part of yourself, you're just deciding, well, okay, so I'm carrying this with me, so be it. And that's either way, whatever it is in your life, reaching that conclusion is a great idea. So a lot of lightness has risen in your life, or is on just around the corner, because you've done that work, and you've had the realizations of knowing what to change and what not to change, and you've actually now reached the wisdom to know the difference. And you then get ready. Oh, actually, I'm forgetting something. There are two more things. Sorry. Before that, the deeper issues of this new celebration spirit are the hanged man and the messenger of earth. And this hanged man, it always comes out to me like spinning. He's spinning around. And so you probably have been in kind of like a holding pattern, but you're not anymore, because you've actually just decided you're not going to be in a holding pattern anymore. You've done enough, you've tried enough, so you're staying here. You're stepping into your most flamboyant self. And then this character shows up. Might of course be somebody in your life. Yeah, it might be. Or it might be some part of you. And this one, she's looking directly at me. She's looking directly at you, Aries. And she's saying, hi, remember me? Remember me? And of course you do. Yeah, you remember them. Excuse me, slurp alert. This is an energy that is very direct, and has either this one has a message for you, or she wants you to bring messages. So if this is a part of you, she's like, time to go. Actually, that could be also if it's a person, like, time to go. And where you're going is out of the norm. You're not going with you're not following the most trodden path, or whatever that expression is. You're very radically on your way to becoming something that is uniquely you. And this is a very Aries card, the Rebel, for sure. This looks like an Aries to me, but it looks like an Aries that that is stepping into some serious energies. Like this is not the first thing Aries does. This is the thing that Aries does after, maturing or going through some hardships, and then getting ready to do this. And you've probably in many ways been a rebel, but this is more than you've ever done before. This is more radical, and most likely it's gonna burn some bridges, real bridges. And well, not literal bridges, but big ones. If you step into this, there will be parts of your life you can't go back to. And that's a little difficult, because it comes out with these energies. It's the Ten of Swords and the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. So you're worried about taking this step. This is a big step. It's not just some little action. It's really stepping forward with something controversial, or just very uniquely you, and very colorful and different from everybody else. So these energies, which are about difficulty in making that decision, being a little bit on the fence about it, and quite anxious, and maybe really struggling with it mentally, and also yet more indecision, kind of planning, not really, longing, still not yet really moving. And then of course the Ten of Swords, which is quite a painful card. It's the nightmare card. It's the complete mental destruction, or complete ego death. It is a very, very difficult energy, although in this deck it very much implies what the 10 always is, which is the potential just being on the verge of a new beginning. But these three, they could be your own doubts and fears, about burning these bridges, and about really showing who you are, and not holding it back, not censoring it, nothing, just really, really, maybe some parts of you that you might think are completely out there, or that don't fit your normal ideas of identity, or how you should be because of this, that, and the other. It could be, but it could also be people around you. There might be people around you who are really, no, don't do that, don't do this, because that would be terrible. And so these warning signs of this anguish, this mental, this cognitive dissonance, and these difficulties with choosing something radical but very truthful to you, could be yours or somebody else's. And the deeper, the underlying issues here are the King of Air, the Six of Fire, and the Four of Earth. So the King of Air is really what is gonna most likely happen, is that you're gonna step into so much mental clarity and power that these energies don't have a leg to stand on. You will come to clarity, and it will be so powerful that it'll just remove whatever doubts or obstacles or fears, and this ego death will be of no consequence. It will be of consequence, but you'll just realize, no, I have to become this. It's the only way. that this is how I'm gonna be who I really want to be. And but it's a level of clarity that you have to reach, because then you will be powerful enough to actually stand in this energy when you start. So be going through the mental anguish, or fighting with other people about it, or having these energies come to you from the outside and dealing with that until you reach absolute clarity, is a part of this journey, and will strengthen you to be completely at one with yourself as you go forward. And it will be a really magical new beginning for you. It will be so dreamy, so magical, really start a lot of new energies, and kind of like a fairy tale. And under these two, or as the last one describing this part of your journey, comes out the Four of Earth, which, if you can see it, it's this little fairy who's offering something to you. Normally the Four of Earth is a card of holding on tightly to what you've got and not being willing to share, being kind of, being rather fearful and in a lack mindset, and just holding on to what you've got for dear life. But this is one of the things that's so funny and great about the good tarot, is that quite a lot of them are kind of the normal meanings opposite. So I see this card as you having let go. You come to the mental clarity that you're gonna do this. You are gonna do this. You make up your mind, and you set a sail. And that process means that you let go of your Four Pentacles. You let go. You're like, okay, I'm gonna let go of it could even be four things that you might be very conscious about. It could be four parts of your ego that I'm gonna have to let that go, and this and that, or things, or material possessions, or whatever it is, people that suddenly became relevant. So you let go of these four things, and then out of the fog steps this fairy offering you a precious gift. And I'm not completely sure what the precious gift is. I can't really make it out, but I think it might be either wings, your own wings for you to wear, or maybe it's a butterfly or a moth. But either way, in any of these three energies are divine, stunning, magical, truthful, connected creatures, or appanage, if you will. It's certainly, it's like spirit coming in and saying, for you to have made this choice is just so amazing, and such great things are gonna start happening, and offering you the magic, more magic, or maybe the magic back again, because you did what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to let go to reach this enough clarity and power that you were ready to let that go, to have a new beginning, or do something else, and do something incredibly truthful to you, with not holding anything back, just full throttle. And doing this leads to big transformation. It's a really life-changing transformation. I almost feel that once you make this decision and you do this thing, after a while your life will be unrecognizable. it could be one of those journeys where if you make a point in the timeline and then you look back a year later, virtually everything has changed in your life. This is the level of transformation I see coming in for you. And actually, after I drew this card, I drew it, I put it on the table, I took the other deck to clarify, and it instantly just all of the cards, or almost all of the cards, just flew out. So it was kind of, it seemed to be a message that this is going to put all the cards on the table. This is going to put everything into play. So big change, and it comes out with big energies as well, with the Wheel, the Four of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Excuse me. So the wheel is gonna turn. That's the magnitude of the transformation, is that a really big new life phase is gonna begin for you, or it might be like the last part of the wheel just turning in so that the changes start to become visible, and you stepping into quite a lot of trust and faith and bliss, life mastery. This is almost you standing on in the forefront of a ship and just being happy and trusting and setting a sail to see new horizons. And then the Four of Pentacles came out again. This is from another deck, and this time I feel it is the original meaning. She is holding her 4 coins close to her chest. She's not really sure whether to share and let go. And this tells me that once this journey begins, you'll be challenged a little bit on your smaller self. We all have a higher self, a bigger self, the most evolved way we can be, and then we have the smaller self that always chooses fear and always chooses smallness and would rather not have the expansion and would rather not have too much fuss or change, and it's just what we all carry in us. And this tells me that it will be there, and it's up to you to make sure that it doesn't control the journey or stop the journey, but that you instead choose your bigger self every time, that you choose expansion, mastery. That's the dynamic I see here. So there's going to be a lot of trust and movement and magic, and then these cards are telling you to remember, don't stop the transformation or your own progression by becoming too fearful and closing in on yourself and trying to hold on to too many things. Be trusting that you are stepping into the absolute highest you could get. The highest you, the biggest you, the most expansive. And the deeper way to look at this transformation, the way it is described, the 7 of Earth and the Page of Water, is you. I see you being very open, actually, being open to new possibilities, and being open to also a longer journey of discovery and development, because here's a child, I always see this child as a very forward-moving consciousness or person or project that's really gonna go places and is ready to take the long journey, starting as a rookie or a child, and then you know, on its way to improving and having a whole journey. A little bit like a Fool card. And so it's about your readiness to take a new journey, and it's also about you being ready to listen to your inner child. And that would be the way forward. Listen to your inner child. And that will certainly lead the way. It will lead the right way. It will lead to the fastest way of getting to the destination. And I'm just realizing as I'm looking at this that he has wings on his head. Maybe these are the wings that our little fairy came out to offer you. I've messed up the cards. But they landed on your head. So maybe a lot of the expansion that will happen in this next phase of your life has to do with your mental capacity, with your intellectual capacity, with imagination or intuition, or even just putting on this, I almost see it like a 3D helmet, except that it's fairy wings and it's connected to the divine, and you just put it on and you're channeling the divine. So a very interesting, intriguing journey in front of you, and something really exciting if you choose it, if you get to the point where you're ready to let go of the things that are holding you back from becoming your most unapologetic self, I would say, and doing something that is probably quite a bit outside the mold. And it could just be something that doesn't fit how you were raised. And sometimes those are some of the hardest chains to break, is some prejudice you grew up with, thinking this, that, or the other is completely off limits, and I should never do that, and not even considering it. And then at some point in your life realizing, oh, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. And then having to actually deal with all of the judgment and the prejudice and the shame, and so it might take a little while, and it might mean a little bit of difficulty for a while trying to make the decision. But if you do, something quite stunning and really interesting is waiting for you. And then comes out the skunk spirit. Know your worth. That's good advice. This is really about, this is again about this. This is about you actually being very unique, and the universe knows it and would like you to step into your purpose. And you're beginning maybe also to know it, that knowing maybe that as long as you're not doing this, you're not in full contact with your power. But imagine if you were in full contact with your power and you were holding nothing back, you would also, even you yourself would be able to see your worth very clearly. So it's actually about personal power, personal authority, and stepping into that and being very clear about the new you. So this was your reading, Aries. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And if you liked it, please subscribe and like and share and comment and all of that. And come back next time. Bye.